Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Juan Mariscal, I'm the chairman of the Bristol County Water Authority, and it's now time to call to order our annual meeting. It's Wednesday, May 27th, it's 5 o'clock, and the second item on the agenda following call to order is a presentation of awards for the Rhode Island State Science Fair winners. We've been participating with the Science Fair for many years, as long as I can remember, and we typically present special awards to students from Bristol County whose projects relate to drinking water or address topics that may impact, support, or otherwise connect to drinking water systems, water quality, water resources, or other drinking water related issues. We have 2 winners this year from the junior division and 2 winners from the senior division. So there'll be, I think there's only 3 folks here tonight, so we'll be making 3 presentations. And the format is that we'll call upon the individual students to walk up here, set up your board over here, and we'll move out of your way. You give about a 5-minute presentation outlining what you did and what conclusions you might have had in doing your research. And then we may have some questions for you. We might not have questions for you. And then we'll present you with a certificate of recognition as well as a savings bond.
A check. Check.
It's a check?
Yeah, it's a check.
It's real money this year. Okay.
Series double D check.
And a water bottle. And we hope you fill it with Bristol County water. So, without any further remarks, I will call upon Joey Kim, who's a 7th grade student from Barrington Middle School. He's going to give us a presentation on his project, which was investigating how hurricanes influence ocean temperatures. So, Joey, if you want to come up here.
Not for you, fellas.
Just set the board right there.
Put it on ready. He's a teacher, he can help you. There we go. That's right.
Stand there, I'll be able to wait. Okay, Joey.
So my project is about how hurricanes influence ocean temperature, and like the original idea was like kind of how ocean temperature influences hurricanes, but I already had some background knowledge on that, so I flipped it over. So it's how hurricanes influence ocean temperature. And for this one, I was like, for the first part, my initial hypothesis was that they don't cool the oceans, because like I've seen that hurricanes are getting like stronger and stronger as the years progress. So my hypothesis was that they don't cool the oceans. And for my procedure, I went to the National Hurricane Center's website, and I went to the North Atlantic hurricane seasons, and I made a data table, which is this one on the top. Well, it's 3 parts, and it like states the name, the type, like how it's categorized, like the tropical depression, tropical storm, and using that, there's a few columns that are the most important, and it's the location of it and like latitude and longitude, and the date. And so using those 2 columns, I went to the National Data Buoy Center online, and on there you can like find specific data buoys, and if you like there's like a big map, and I went to the specific coordinates for each hurricane, well, where it was the strongest. So and I found the closest data buoy, and I used the exact year that the hurricane took place, and they have these like big data like logs, and on there there's like a water temperature column and a date column. So I like scrolled through each one individually for all. I think it's like all. Yeah, I don't know how many, but all of the hurricanes that I put in my data table. And I made a second data table that has the initial temperature of the water when it started, when the hurricane started, the lowest temperature that it ever reached, and the temperature change in Soho, and it was all in Celsius. So based on that, if this the data table all shows negative change, so that means that I found out that hurricanes do cool the ocean. But I wanted to know why, so I looked into it a bit more, and it turns out that they cool the ocean because since they draw their power from warm water, they pretty much act like a vacuum, and they pull out the energy from the water. So my hypothesis was wrong, but my reasoning behind my hypothesis was that hurricanes are getting stronger over the years, so why would they cool the ocean even though they need power from warm water? So I looked into it, I researched it a bit more, and it's actually because of climate change and people, because we are polluting the earth a lot, and so like the greenhouse gases that we release a lot are trapping heat in our atmosphere, and that's just naturally making the water a lot hotter and causing like much stronger hurricanes, even though they're cooling the oceans. So I thought that was interesting how hurricanes are like working against themselves, but we're making them stronger and we suffer the most from it. So my conclusion was that they do cool the ocean, and that in order to fight hurricanes, it's just all like connected to climate change. We just have to fight against the release of greenhouse gas. We have to do everything we can do to stop pollution.
Very good.
Next great person. Does anybody have any questions of Joey?
Yeah, we're gonna have a hurricane this year?
Most likely, yeah. I mean, at one point there's gonna be just really cold, hot water, and if climate change just keeps getting worse, so we might have one this year. But it's probably gonna be towards the more tropical areas.
Thanks for the warning, I live in a hurricane area.
Very good, Joe. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you. Here is your certificate of recognition for the hard work you put into doing your project, your water bottle, and the real prize, money. Thank you. And continued success.
Thank you very much. Great job.
Oh, my God.
The second place winner in the junior division is Joey's classmate, Anton Chen, also from Barrington Middle School. His project's name is Predicting Future Sea Levels with Machine Learning. Anton.
So my project was about using machine learning to forecast future sea levels, and I used data from the NOAA to put into a model. I used profit model from Meta, and my hypothesis was that if I put in a bunch of historical data points of historical sea levels in two places, I used northeastern United States, in this case I used Boston, and in western United States I used Los Angeles, California. And if those measurements demonstrate a persistent upwards trend, then the profit model will continue that trend and hopefully come up with a accurate trend of it going up. I did this because global temperatures increasing would mean that water would increasingly affect communities around the water, and ice sheets and melting glaciers are also adding to that. So I started by gathering all the data and putting it and graphing all of that, and it's shown here. And you can see that it's persistent upwards, but you can also see that there's a lot of outlying points. So first, to train the data, to test out the data to see if it worked, I gave it half the data points for each one, and then I gave it half the data points, and then hit the other half to see how well the machine would predict the ones that we already have the data for. And as you can see, it's always in the middle of all the points. It captures the overall trend, but it doesn't capture the individual data points, like the outlying times where the sea level is above or below average. So it can't capture those outlying points. And its prediction is it's always in the middle, and it never gets those spikes or underlying points, and it's seen both in Boston and Los Angeles. So when you put it into future prediction, it's just a straight line slightly up, which when you look at it looks pretty similar to what the historical data points. It's just it doesn't, like I said before, it can't capture those individual spikes where it's not normal. I mean, it's a lot different. It's above average or below average. So this can be useful to know because our communities here are very impacted by the water, and here in Rhode Island. It can also tell communities how to prepare and have them be ready. So I concluded with that machine learning can capture the overall trends that the historical data points will show, and it can continue that into the future accurately, but it cannot capture those small points that go up, below, up above average or below average. So it can't measure the exact points of the days or the years. You can only do it the average, kind of.
Any questions of our young scientists? Great job. As I'm listening to you and looking at all of the work that you did, I'm wondering if I did all that work for my master's degree. It's always educational to see how the next generation, and the next generation, and the next generation continually improves upon what they do. Okay, Anton, here's your certificate of recognition for your fine work.
Thank you.
In science. Your bottle, fill it with lots of good, clean Bristol County water, and your check.
Thank you.
So, in the senior division, we have tonight first place winner Alex Barrowy from Mount Hope High School. He lives in Bristol also, and his project name is Clearing the Way, How Bedload Sediment Collectors Affect Sediment Buildup and Hydraulic Performance in a Model Dam. So come on up, Alex, and teach us about this.
I always like to start out by asking, do you know that all dams are temporary? You can answer.
All dams are temporary? Yes, they are. We know that.
doing all too well.
And upon my initial research, I found out a leading cause is sedimentation. So I thought of ways to remedy this problem, and the main thing that came up was, what if we insert a collector at the bottom of a dam where sediment builds up to collect the sediment before it can affect the dam? So during my day home sick one day, I came up with this, in my opinion, awesome idea to create this sediment collector. So I create initial designs, and it snowballed into where this past September in my biology class, we were told that we have to do science fair. And I was already prepared to do it with this, and it just snowballed where I was able to secure funding to create 2 acrylic flumes that are approximately 6 inches wide and 4 feet long. And with using these flumes, I would run water through them. I would have a control and a variable one, in which the variable one would have a hole about 6 inches from the dam itself, which I could insert different size sediment collectors to collect the sediment. And upon my testing, sadly, during my stress tests, it broke. The tank to hold the sediment popped open due to water pressure because I made it too big. If you can see it, it's basically half the size of the dam. Made it too big, too deep. So I resorted to heck grass. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's used by the US Army Corps of Engineers. And upon my testing, I inserted the same variable, same size, same everything. And my hypothesis came true. A larger sediment collector does improve the hydraulic efficiency and reduce sediment, the height of sediment in dams. So upon these results, I was ecstatic, because not only did it come true, but eventually I plan to snowball this into something much larger, to where I could collect oil. We can collect anything using the sediment collector, and hopefully better the world, better the water, and better the surrounding environment.
So what are you thinking of in terms of your future, in terms of a career?
I would really want to go on to get a PhD in either dam engineering or some sort of engineering regarding dams and or water. And I really hope to go to University of Illinois.
Very definitive, great presentation. Nice verbal presentation. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions?
No, not any questions, but I had the privilege of judging at the Mount Hope Science Fair, and Oz was doing a presentation there, and it was most impressive. He had his prototype there at that time as well. But, you know, future civil engineer right here.
From another civil engineer.
Right.
And another civil engineer in the corner. So you're surrounded by us. So this is your certificate of recognition, your bottle,
Thank you.
and your check.
Thank you.
We did have a second place winner in the senior division. It's actually a team, but they're not here tonight. And that was Liam Gagner and Sarah Necka from Mount Hope High School. Thank you for the students for participating, and we'll look forward to seeing what you come up with next year. Thanks to the moms and dads who are here to accompany them and encourage them.
Enjoy the fire department too.
You want more than one of the families?
Well, it's hard, he can train his own. He can train his own. It's all matters when we got this night.
I'm with the rest of the show. We'll turn this over to Mr. Genito, item 3 on the agenda, nomination and election of officers. You can
Yes,
conduct
Mr.
that.
Chairman. I'd like to move the nomination of Juan Mariscal for another term as chairman of the Bristol County Water Authority.
Second.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move the nominations be closed.
Second.
So moved.
Yes. You can run the vote.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those in favor of Juan having another year signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I'd
Thank
like to
you.
move the nomination of, what do I have here now? Fred. Fred. I'm Fred. Get my minutes all mixed up here.
Did you have
Vice Chairman.
Second.
Make a motion, nominations be closed.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those in favor of Thomas Craig being Vice Chairman signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So voted. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move the nomination of Christopher Stanley for Secretary Treasurer.
Second.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move the nominations be closed.
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those in favor of Chris signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So voted. Mr. Chairman, you can have the meeting back.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody for your vote and confidence in the three of us running the show here at these meetings and so forth. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is designation of the committees, appointment of members, and selection of committees chairs by the chairman. There are no changes except the addition of Frank Alfano to the personnel and, no, the policies and procedures review committee. And with that, we'll have full committees all around, and the chairs will all remain the same as well. The next item is adjournment to the regular meeting. So moved. Second. All in favor of adjournment? Say aye.